To everybody in the back, to the parents. We appreciate your support. We appreciate your support to our coaches, to this school. And I said this at the Honors Day. I want to thank all of you parents for your support with COVID. This year has been very we should or what we shouldn't have done. But I want to thank you parents for your support. To send your kid here, to have that faith in that we've made it through this year. And as serious as COVID, I think we all felt that it was just as serious for our students to be in school. The mental health aspect of it, for them to be a normal life, I think that was major important. And again, instead of fighting it, you trusted the process, and I just want to thank you parents for that, because our kids, and I think us teachers too, we needed a normal school year up here at school. So thank y'all. I'm going to turn it over to our coaches. Coach B will come up with cross country.
All right, if I will have our one cross country runner come on up front here, Emily Johnson. Emily has kind of been running by herself the last couple of years here at middle school. I guess there's not a lot of them out there that just want to go run for fun. But she's been taking some Saturdays and going off and running some cross-country meets. This year, she participated in 3 different meets over the season. She went up to Westfield and was able to run at their Hornet Hustle up there with a time of 14:40. She finished in 8th place. Went and competed in the overall out of over 100 for all of her time and great placement there in the GISA.
Morning. Hey, all right. So I'm going to introduce the softball team. Our JV softball coach, Carson Carver, has moved away and is no longer living around, so I'm going to do this today. 8th grade softball players, Sarah Grace Alexander, come on up. Ella Ashley, Bella Bleckley, Rylan Edwards. Just stand up by somewhere. Come on up to the top, you short. Rose Fain, Anna Grace Ginn, and Riley Yates. 7th graders, Aubrey Holloman, Anna Claire Mock, and Allie Thornton. And our 6th graders, Emma Atkinson, Maddie Clenny, Meade Clinkscale, Charlie Davis, Amelia Giles, Libby Glass, and Allie Hornsby. All right, so these young ladies usually start, I think we started last year after July the 4th, but have lost 2 games in 2 years in middle school in JV, so that's pretty good. This year we were 9-1. Harold, I think, and the work all 40 really get me to stay in the shade a little longer. I'm going to turn it over to the next one. Good job, ladies.
Good morning. This is first time I've ever had the pleasure of doing this, so we'll see how it goes. And I just remembered I should have brought a roster, but I'm gonna do it by sight. We'll see how it goes. So if I miss you by chance, and I hope I don't, stand up so I can call your name. Case Cobb, Bo Williams, Coulter, Birdsong. Cobb was the sure-footedest one on the team. Banks Mathis, Noah Fettner, Olin Thompson, T.J. Green, Brack Jarrett, Colby Yates, Grayson Cox, Mills, Hornsby, Sawyer Franklin, Bryant Collins, Tanner Mock, Skeeter, Banks Johnson, Briar Johnson. What? Huh? Thorne, I'm sorry. I actually talked to Briar this morning, so I had Briar on my mind. Brody McVeigh, Grant Fletcher. Who am I missing? So this is our 8th graders, and now our 7th graders. J.D. Kirkland, Thad Beck. But I went to Coach Mack. And a lot of these other schools are programs that they take these kids in middle school and they learn over the whole their 2 or 3 years of middle school if they do 6th grade or 7th grade or 8th grade or all 3 grades. But anyway, over their 2 or 3 years of school, they learn that program from the start. And so when they get to 9th grade, they already know what's expected of them. So that's kind of how we started this. And when I was talking to Coach Mack about it, he said, does that mean you're going to help? I didn't intend on it, but anyway, so the last 2 years, that's where we've been. But I think this 8th grade bunch will be, I've said it a lot of times, and I hope to say it many more times, and I don't mean just these boys, I mean the girls too, for that matter, but pretty outstanding group of kids in this 8th grade. And I think SGA's got a very bright future when it comes to this class, and excited to see what they're going to do in their 7th grade. They had some. Thank you.
All right, I talk about this next group, and I'm gonna give it a shot. I need the middle school bass fishing team to come on up. It's gonna be T.J. Green, Olin Thompson, Banks Johnson, Mills Hornsby, Nate Akers, and Bo Williams. Now, for those of you that don't know how bass fishing works as a team sport, these guys will normally leave out of here on a Thursday evening. They'll travel across the state of Georgia. They went all the way to North Georgia some. They'll fish all day Friday as a practice round. And then Saturday morning, they'll be up at 4 in the morning trying to get to the blast off there so they can get out at 5 or 6 in the morning, and they're out on the lake all day long out there fishing. Now, this group up here, there were some pretty successful guys. The team of T.J. Green and Olin Thompson qualified for state on Lake Hartwell with 3 fish for 6.28 pounds, and they placed 14th out of 53 boats that day. Banks Johnson and Mills Hornsby qualified for state on Lake Oconee with 4 fish for a little over 4 pounds. They placed 12th out of 56 boats. And then Nate and Bo were able to qualify for state on Lake Eufaula, where they finished third place, and they finished third place at Lake Oconee with 5 fish for almost 9 pounds. They placed in the top, and these guys, this whole group of guys right here, tournament, it takes place June 18th and 19th on the road here at Lake Eufaula. Guys for all the time and effort that is a sport like they travel all over the place, and these guys have done a really job for us.
Y'all, I'm definitely not a speech giver, but I'm going to do the best I can. Coach, I want to thank Coach Matt for letting me coach here. I've been here approximately 7 seasons now. Thank Coach B for all the help he's got, Coach Todd. I want to thank all the mothers that have made this possible, this team possible. And Maggie Joyner has gone beyond the call of duty with food and drinks and whatever. Coach Mike Williams and I got together 2 years ago, and we started coaching together. I thought I wasn't going to be able to do it, but it worked out that I could get back in it, so we tackled it together. And now Coach Williams is, I think, about 30, 35 years experience, so he brought something to the table, so I'm proud of him. I tell you, SGA, I didn't think we were going to have a regular year because of this COVID. The class situations changed, our sports situation changed, and I often wondered if we were going to really have any sports at all this particular season. What I would say about these girls that's been on the court, they have made a statement with this ball team. This group of girls always on time for PE. They were real interested in playing ball, and they just a good attitude, a good group of girls. Coach Mike and I, at one time during the season, was sick, and we might have had COVID or whatever. But anyway, I got away from the team. Quarantined my own self voluntarily, and the coach. Dr. Bennett filled in for us on one particular game. I'll tell you this. So I texted Dana, and I said, Dana, how the team play? She said, they played like a well-oiled machine. Now, how better can you describe a team than that? Yeah. I have a saying, if you give out, don't give up. I also have a saying that if I put you in the ball game, I want you to maintain.
We had to, we would get ribbons for the top 4 places. So I have those ribbons to give out today. Coach Todd, who helped me, thank goodness I had him out there this year. He kept me sane. But when I call your name, if you'll come and get your ribbon. Okay. Starting with shot put, 7th grade girls, 2nd place, Ansley West. Third place, Annie Redding. Eighth grade girls, Maggie Joyner, 4th place. Seventh grade boys, 4th place, Jackson Jones. Eighth grade boys, 2nd place, Grant Fletcher. And 3rd place, Banks Mathis, excuse me. Discus, 1st place for 7th grade girls, Annie Redding. Eighth grade girls, 4th place, Maggie Joyner. Seventh grade boys, 4th place, Jeb Trawick. Eighth grade boys, 1st place, Grant Fletcher. 2nd place, Banks Mathis. These two represented me on varsity as well, so they did a really good job. Long jump, 3rd place for 7th grade girls, Blair Bennett. Eighth grade, we had a slew of these. 8th grade girls, 1st place, Sarah Grace Alexander. 2nd place, Rylan Edwards. 3rd place, Kaylin Dean. 7th grade boys, 4th place, Thad Beckley. High jump, 1st place, Ivy Jo Bruner for 7th grade. 2nd place, Grayson Haddock. 3rd place, Lola Linnencole. 8th grade girls, 1st place, Carmen Scott. She also represented us on the varsity team. 7th grade boys, 1st, Kenan Moulton. 2nd place, J.D. Kirkland. 8th grade boys, 2nd place, Grayson Cox. 3rd place, Brack Jarrett. 1600 meter for the 7th grade girls, 1st place, Sophie Hunt. We all know where she gets that ability to run from. 2nd place for the 8th grade girls, 2nd place, Emily Johnson. 7th grade boys, 1st place, Reed Connor. 8th grade boys, 3rd place, Brody McVeigh. 4th place, Colby Yates. You know, these guys right here, a lot of my guys I never saw. So Colby and Brody and all these boys that play baseball, they just jumped out there and said, okay, I'll do it. And really their practice was the track meet. They'd never ran a mile before, and they just went out there just think what they could do if they had hard work behind that. The 4x100 meter relay. All right, for the 7th grade, 1st place, SGA team number 1. Do you know who you are? Do I need to call that out? That would be Anna Claire Mock, Hannah McClendon, Grayson Haddock, and Blair Bennett. 4th place, SGA team number 2. That's Sydney Middleton, Ivy Jo Bruner, Sophie Hunt, and Allie Thornton. Eighth grade, girls, first place, SGA team number 1. That's Riley Yates, Carmen Scott, Emily Johnson, Rylan Edwards. And second place, SGA team number 2, Ella Ashley, Ashlyn Durden, Sadie Sasser, and Sarah Grace Alexander. All right. For the 7th grade boys, first place, SGA team number 1. That is Thad Beckley, Leighton Hurd, Ethan Foster, Cannon Moulton. Third place, SGA team number 2, Jackson Jones, J.D. Kirkland, Jeb Trawick, and Reed Connor. Eighth grade boys, first place, SGA team number 1, Grant Fletcher, Grayson Cox, Thorne Johnson, and Coulter Birdsong. Second place, SGA team number 2, Brody McVeigh, TJ Green, Brack Jarrett, and Tanner Mock. "55-meter hurdles, first place for 7th grade girls, Blair Bennett. Eighth grade girls, second place, Rylan Edwards. Seventh grade boys, third place, Leighton Hurd. Eighth grade boys, first place, Coulter Birdsong. "100-meter dash, 7th grade girls, third place, Grayson Haddock. Eighth grade girls, first place, Carmen Scott. Second place, Riley Yates. 7th grade boys, second place, Cannon Moulton. Fourth place, Thad Beckley. Eighth grade boys, second place, Coulter Birdsong. 400-meter, eighth grade girls, second place, Rylan Edwards. Third place, Ashlyn Durden. Seventh grade boys, first place, Leighton Hurd. Second place, Reed Connor. Third place, Ethan Foster. Eighth grade boys, first place, Grayson Cox. Second place, Brack Jarrett. "800-meter, 7th grade girls, second place, Sophie Hunt. Eighth grade girls, first place, Emily Johnson. Second place, Kaylin Dean. 7th grade boys, first place, Ethan Foster. Eighth grade boys, second place, Brody McVeigh. Fourth place, Noah Fettner. "200-meter, for the 7th grade girls, first place, Blair Bennett. Fourth place, Grayson Haddock. Eighth grade girls, second place, Carmen Scott. Third place, Riley Yates. 7th grade boys, second place, Cannon Moulton. Third place, Leighton Hurd. 8th grade boys, second place, Grayson Cox. Third place, Thorne Johnson. Thorne had he dislocated his hip, so he had an injury the whole track season, but that boy, he can run and he'll do anything you ask him to do. I love his attitude. 4x400 meter relay, 7th grade girls. Second place, SGA team number 1. That is, I gotta look it up. That is Grayson Haddock, Anna Claire Mock, Sophie Hunt, and Blair Bennett. Eighth grade girls, first place, SGA team number 1, Carmen Scott, Rylan Edwards, Sadie Sasser, and Emily Johnson. Third place was SGA team number 2, Ella Ashley, Ashlyn Durden, Kaylin Dean, and Sarah Grace Alexander. Seventh grade boys, first place, SGA team number 1, Reed Connor, Leighton Hurd, Ethan Foster, Cannon Moulton. Eighth grade boys, first place, SGA team number 1, Grant Fletcher, Coulter Birdsong, Grayson Cox, and Brack Jarrett. And fourth place, SGA team number 2, Tanner Mock, Colby Yates, Brody McVeigh, and Banks Mathis. I'd like to thank Coach Todd for helping me out during the season, and if I ask, he's just always so willing to do anything that I ask him to do, and I appreciate all the hard work that he did. And then I would like to thank Mary Hunt, if she's here, for taking on some of the long distance runners for me. And then most of all, the parents for supporting their child and cheering on these guys at a track meet. It looks really good when we have all the parent support, and then helping me get to the track meets, transporting these kids and providing snacks and water. It was just great to see the SGA team real alive. Thank you.
All right, at this time, I'm going to call up the 2021 JV Warriors baseball team. I'll do it by grade, so 8th graders, if you would, please come to the stage. Nate Akers. Yeah, I'm going to do it one at a time, guys. A little bit of recognition for y'all. Case Cobb, Grayson Cox, Noah Fettner, Sawyer Franklin, Mills Hornsby, Thorne Johnson, Banks Johnson, Brody McVeigh, Tanner Mock, Bo Williams, and Colby Yates. Our 7th graders, Thad Beckley, Reed Connor, Jackson Jones, and Jeb Trawick. Hey, good job, guys. Hey, it was a really, really good year for our junior varsity baseball program. This year we were able to convince Coach Vernon Nobles to step in and help us out with our JV baseball program. What an asset to not only the JV program, but to me also as helping me with the varsity program. It was a fantastic year for these guys. When talking about their record, I guess it officially goes on the books as 16-1. However, that one loss, I think, was my fault 100%. We had to do a makeup game with You going to agree with that, Coach? We had to do a makeup game with Westwood, so we decided to schedule it before one of our varsity games. And the only way that we could do that and make it work was if we put what's called a drop-dead time limit on that game. So we said at 1 hour and a half, good, bad, or otherwise, that game stops and we move on to play our varsity game. Well, it just so happened we were down a couple of runs and our bats were heating up and the boys were really, it was blatantly obvious that we were about to take control of that game. And I'd have given anything in the world to be the type of guy that would change the rules as I went along, but I just couldn't do that, so we had to call that game off. And so while it does go down, I guess you could say, on some people's books as a loss, I didn't consider it a loss. So in my mind, these guys also were undefeated for the season. And I'll tell you what, the baseball program as a whole at Southwest Georgia Academy, I believe, is on the rise. And I think athletics at Southwest Georgia Academy is on the rise primarily because of our middle school sports. I think y'all have kind of seen a pattern here as we've talked today. This team's undefeated, that team's undefeated, first place in track here, first place in track there, basketball undefeated. It just goes on and on and on. So I want to thank each of these student athletes for what they do and their contribution to not only sports at Southwest Georgia Academy, but to the overall air of quality and leadership, which is, I think, what we represent. To the parents, I want to thank you for what you do. I know it's very time-consuming. Get players here, get players there, get them home, get them picked up, have snacks, have water, so on and so forth. Y'all are to be commended for everything that you do. And to our administration, we want to thank our administration for all that they do in support of us coaches as it relates to our junior varsity programs. Got a great group of guys here. You'll notice we've only got 4 7th graders that will be returning as 8th graders to our baseball program next year, but there is a passel of 6th graders coming up. I kind of crunched some numbers the other day, and I don't know, it ended up being those 4 plus another, maybe 18 or so that's going to be 7th graders next year. I'm excited as a varsity coach because we've got just a truckload of 8th graders that'll be moving up to the varsity level. And I think I can speak for all of our coaches here with this large 8th grade class. We're very excited about the future of athletics at Southwest Georgia Academy. I think the future looks good. I'm terribly excited about it, and I couldn't be more proud of each of these young men and their accomplishments this year on the baseball field. And thank you, parents, for what you've done to make that possible. And if you would, let's give these guys a big round of applause. You want to say anything, Coach? Thank you, guys.
As we close today, let's give all of our student athletes a big hand for everything they continue to do at SGA. Again, thank y'all for coming today. Students, we will dismiss you, and so you can see your parents and all that kind of first, but then you'll go to break and have your breakfast time. Thank y'all for coming today.